Hello, everyone. I'm Sheldon Baker, and welcome to the 420 area code. We've got another great guest for you today, a very special guest. And if you've never heard of Eric Boots Greene, you will after this show is done. And he's a very interesting, cool cat, as they might say, in the music industry, because he's from the music industry. So we'll check out this important message. Come on back, and you'll have a chance to meet Eric Boots Greene.
Not all hemp oils are created equal. Let Verdant Oasis show you why. Verdant Oasis is a vertically integrated hemp-centric raw material grower, manufacturer, and supplier. We oversee every step from soil to oil. Verdant strains are genotyped and registered by government-regulated seed banks. Our operations are HACCP and GMP certified by SGS International. Verdant Oasis has the most comprehensive global safety dossier for hemp extract, setting the benchmark for FDA acceptance and NDI compliance, the gateway to the food and beverage industry. Our hemp oil ingredients are accepted and authorized by the FDA, USDA, and DEA for interstate commerce throughout the United States. In the UK and EU, our extract is authorized as a novel food. Wholesome and pure, backed by science, legally compliant, and fully integrated with a dedicated innovation center to serve your unique marketing objectives. To learn more about the Verdant difference, visit our website at www.verdantoasis.com. Verdant Oasis, the essence of hemp.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching the 420 area code, and please welcome my guest, Eric Boots Greene. Eric,
Hello.
Great to have you here.
Hey, Sheldon. Pleasure, man. Pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here. This is beautiful. This is beautiful right now.
I know you were just in a session, or I say just in a session. I think you were in a session since you're coming into us from the East Coast. You've been in a session all day.
Yes, sir. Yep. Been working all day, and been working as a musician and as a father. So yeah, I've had some things to do with the session, and also taking care of my children after school, and making sure they're straight. And so then we got some time to talk to you guys and hang out with you for a few.
Fantastic. You are a music industry business professional. You've been drumming since you were 2 years old.
Yes, sir.
And how old are you now, if I may ask?
37.
Okay, so 35 years you've been a drummer, and
yes, sir.
You've been writing songs, you've been producing, you've been backing up a lot of people that I'm certain our audience has heard of, like Wiz Khalifa and Jay-Z and Beyonce and Alicia Keys, and the list goes on. I'd say just right there, that's a pretty successful career.
Yes, sir. Very grateful. Very, very grateful for that.
How did you happen to meet some of those people? I know Snoop Dogg's another one, Patti LaBelle. How did you? Again, you've been drumming for many years, but what was the secret to getting your foot in the door, so to speak? And I guess if you meet one talented musical person who's really out there in the limelight, that kind of opens the doors to other things. But how did that start for you?
Basically, somewhat like that. A close friend of mine, Junius Burvine, another friend of mine, Adam Blackstone, who is a musical director. They're both musical directors. Adam Blackstone is someone that you see on a lot of the award shows. He's the bass player that's in the front. But those guys and people of that nature and that caliber, they basically, they'll call me. And a lot of us are like longtime church friends and stuff like that. So we know each other from years. And they'll call me because, they're pleased with my, with the value that I bring to the gig. So I think that they they respect what I bring to the table, and they put me in the forefront, of the top, whatever you want to call it, of drummers. So I get kind of the first dibs, which I'm very grateful for. So that's how it typically happens for me. Like, it's word of mouth. It's, hey, so-and-so needs a drummer. They're going out for, 5 months or whatever. Are you free? Okay, cool. And then we handle everything from that, from that point on. But that's really typically the way everything happens, by word of mouth and, a friend, most likely.
And you use the word bid. Is that play a role in it? Do you have to bid for a session or a gig, so to speak?
No. More so like, it's just more so about like, there's a billion musicians, right? So it's like, at the end of the day, how am I going to stand out? How can I get in that, that little crack? And it's a lot of times it is the person, and it also has to do with your, your playing, and it has to do with your, you just being, you being a human being in general off of the instrument. Because a lot of times, you're only playing for 2 hours, so it's like, who are you off the instrument as well? We have to be able to deal with you and talk to you and, hang out and vibe aside from the stage. So a lot of times that's what the bid somewhat is. It's like, you can't just be a musician. You know what I'm saying? It's like anyone could do that if that's the case. Mm-hmm. But what separates you from everyone else?
You got to be a real person too.
Very real. Very, very real.
So you do studio sessions, and then you also go out on the road, I think I heard you say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For long periods of time, huh?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The longest I've been out was a year with Jay-Z and Beyonce for the OTR tour, on the On the Run tour. Actually, that was the On the Run tour, too. That was for literally a year. We did all overseas, and then we came back into the States, and we finished in the States, and that was amazing. I prayed for that for so long, like to have a year tour. But, I wish they could extend it another year, but hey, things happen.
So from the public standpoint, or even from my standpoint, is it as exciting as it might be? I know obviously it's a lot of hard work, and you're putting in a lot of, I guess there's practice time, and of course there's the travel. But at the end of the day, is it pretty exciting atmosphere to be part of?
Oh, definitely. For me, and this is no aura or anything of that nature, but for me, I'm used to being around the celebrities and the stars. So when I'm, when I'm around J and B, it feels good because they're normal as well. Just being honest, they're total normal people. They have children, they laugh just like we do. And for me, it makes me feel, really good to be a part of that environment, and even that industry, because those people that others think that are like, oh my God, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're, it's like, no, they're regular human beings. They just have $1 billion, but it's like, it's just like, but they're regular people who, love to be around other people. They really do show love. So, I love being a part of that because of, that situation right there alone. Like, they're not big headed, and people aren't, no, they don't do that over there.
Yeah, but that must be pretty tough. You're on the road for a while, and you're away from your family, huh?
Yeah, I actually got homesick one time. When my daughter was born, my daughter Treasure, she's 14 now. She was born, and I went back on the road with Pharrell to Germany, I think it was, and we were like, it was like a festival tour, and I just felt sick. Literally felt sick. Like, I'm talking about, like, to my stomach. Like, I was, regurgitating and, like, crying a little bit. And I could not really grasp why. But we would be out with Pharrell for months at a time. Like, 6 months overseas, 5 months over here, another 6 months overseas. But I loved it. But it was also, I missed my daughter, my newborn daughter. I missed my family. I missed the smell of her in the home, and just being home. I was homesick. Sure. So, yeah, it gets real.
So you've mentioned, you've mentioned, of course, Jay-Z and Beyonce a few times, and Pharrell. who stands out the most? And of those, of that, say that one, maybe it may be more than one, but of those people who stand out, why?
For me, I would say, okay, honestly, for me, the person that stands out the most for me would be Common. I don't know if you know Common, the
Yes,
rapper and
sure.
actor.
Yeah.
Right. So he's someone that, one second, let me treasure in. He's someone that has actually shown me another side of artists. He's shown me another side of even being a human being. He stands behind everything he says. And as a man, of course, like my dad's always told me, you know, as a man, your word is like the main thing you have to live by. So he's been someone that's really stood out more than even the Jay-Z and the Beyoncés and Pharrell's. Like, Pharrell's a nice, great guy. We all see that. That's who you see on the camera. That's Pharrell Williams. Like he doesn't play. He's not fake. That's really that man. He's a warm human being. He loves humans. He loves, you know, he loves Pokemon and stuff. Like he's a real good guy. So I think that, yeah, like just Common is one of the main people that really made me have even more of a stronger love for artists and for working for artists.
Well, he's been very successful, so that's quite
Yes.
a statement. So you've always, obviously, if you started drumming it too, you've always envisioned a career in music, huh?
Yes. Yes, sir. I wanted to start touring when I was around, I thought about touring around the age of 13, 14. That's when I started seeing, like, you know, videos and stuff like that of concerts, and I would pay attention to the drummer, and I would just pay attention to the whole scenery, like the energy of everything, just the crowd and all this stuff. And my first concert, I guess I would say, was in church. Like, I grew up in church, so it was like I learned a lot in church, even through, you know, frequencies and vibes and feelings and spiritual and just everything in general, dynamics. So many things that was the same as the, you know, the tour. But yeah, I don't know. I love this life because of the fact of you get to really experience a lot of what people would love to experience. And it's not knocking anyone that, I'm sorry you guys can't experience it, but it is a thing of, you know, coming from church and coming from being such a child to getting to that point. It's like, wow, like I really envisioned this when I was, you know, a kid, you know, so that's really where it started, in church and, you know, back in those days.
Yeah. And Eric is coming to us today from Philadelphia area.
Yes, sir.
That's always been
Yes,
home
sir.
for you? That's always been home for you, that area?
Say it again.
That's always been home for you, that part of the
Yes.
the U.S., huh? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I was born in South Carolina, and then we moved to up here in Philadelphia maybe when I was like 1 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you could say, you know, Philly's home.
It pretty much has been home. Where'd you get the nickname, I guess you can call it a nickname, Boots? How did that come about?
My mom. So my mom used to call me Booty, right, when I was a baby. So of course, you know, I get older and I'm like, we're not doing that. We're not, you know, can't have a grown man or somebody down the street like, hey, Booty, like doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
So a friend actually started calling me Boots, and it just stuck. You know, it just stuck with that, and it also sounds cool. So I was like, here we go, Boots. We're gonna keep that. So.
And it stuck, and so so today, what do most people call you, Eric, or do they call you Boots?
Of course, yeah. Most people call me Boots. Only people that call me Eric are like my lady, or you know, someone that, like a friend or somebody, if they're mad at me. Like, but yeah, other than that, it's always Boots.
Very good. Okay, well, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with Boots Greene. We're going to talk some more music. We're also going to talk, of course, a little bit about cannabis and his viewpoint, and it's an area of interest to him. So stick around. Come on back after these important messages.
Not all hemp oils are created equal. Let Verdant Oasis show you why. Verdant Oasis is a vertically integrated hemp-centric raw material grower, manufacturer, and supplier. We oversee every step from soil to oil. Verdant strains are genotyped and registered by government-regulated seed banks. Our operations are HACCP and GMP certified by SGS International. Verdant Oasis has the most comprehensive global safety dossier for hemp extract, setting the benchmark for FDA acceptance and NDI compliance, the gateway to the food and beverage industry. Our hemp oil ingredients are accepted and authorized by the FDA, USDA, and DEA for interstate commerce throughout the United States. In the UK and EU, our extract is authorized as a novel food. Wholesome and pure, backed by science, legally compliant, and fully integrated with a dedicated innovation center to serve your unique marketing objectives. To learn more about the Verdant difference, visit our website at www.verdantoasis.com. Verdant Oasis, the essence of hemp.
We're back on the 420 area code. I'm talking with Eric Boots Greene, one of the preeminent drummers who's backed up a lot of well-known names, and of course we were talking about that in the first half of the show. You also authored a book, a short nonfiction book. What was that all about?
Oh, yes. I'm glad you asked about that. So the book is called The Instrumentalist. Basically, it's talking about being an instrumentalist, but the mental side of being that, as well as a father, any type of other figure outside of just the instrument in general, because you still have the instrumental part, right? So basically, it's just talking about my life story from being a child all up until that age. I think I was like 34 or 3 or so. I think somewhere around that age when I wrote it. So just from that time period, just displaying what it's like being a father, being a professional musician, touring musician, a husband at the time, just someone in the limelight, I guess, with the pressure and, with the pressure and also the simple things of life that people think you don't go through, and learning how to cope with those things, so it's like basically showing them the good, the bad, but then the good again. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's really mainly about, in helping young musicians understand how to really grasp this game, this industry and the music industry, because it's not what they all think. So I just, I'm a realist. I really want to be honest with people, because I don't want them to think I'm Boots Greene, for whatever reason. It's like, no, I'm this person because of this.
Sure. Yeah. If you weren't a drummer, kind of do a little pretend. If you weren't a drummer, who would you think is a really great drummer? Who else is out there? Who else do you think really does a great job of being a drummer?
Oh man, there's a bunch. There's a few of those. Offhand, I can give you like my favorite drummer. One of my favorite drummers is Dave Weckl. He's amazing. Another amazing drummer his name is Ronald Bruner. There's a few other amazing drummers. Another one named George Spanky McCurdy. He's amazing. He played for like Lady Gaga and stuff like that. He's great. And there's like I said, there's a million. I can keep going. Yeah. And I respect those people. Like you said, if I weren't a drummer or a musician, I even respect those people off the instrument. So it's like, I look at them as good people because of that. They're a good drummer, but they're also a great person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fantastic. So, one of the reasons we got together, got to know each other, and I've known Boots for 6 months or so, is because he does have an interest, like so many entertainers, in the cannabis and CBD arena.
Yes, sir.
What do you think if you get into that? I know you'd really like to do it, be it as a spokesperson or be it perhaps even as an investor. What do you think? I always ask this question: is your unique selling proposition? That obviously you have a celebrity status, but where do you see yourself being in the cannabis CBD arena?
Wow. Honestly, I haven't really seen myself deep into that as far as my position or anything, but I definitely know that I want to be a part. And one, because I do partake in THC, marijuana, cannabis, pure plants and stuff like that. But my thing is, I would love to be a part of the CBD community because one, I'm really realizing the benefits that it really brings. I forgot what article it was, but there was a kid that was having seizures or something like that, and they started taking the CBD, and seizures slowed down. Next thing you know, the seizure stopped. So it's like, stuff like that to me are miracles, right? So understanding that also I have friends and parents and family members and people who their body aches, certain times of the day or night or whatever. I know, of course, CBD helps with that, with pain. But also, even more so in the field of just, learning the scientific side of this, right? Because a lot of us know CBD is for, it's used to help pain or to help, calm or soothe or whatever the case is. But I really want to get into the scientific side of, what is this going to really do, and how is this really going to help us as human beings moving forward in the future? Because, of course, there's a lot of people who smoke, and who partake in THC. Okay, fine. But that's because, if we're going to be honest, because they want to get high, right?
Right.
So it's like, why not feel somewhat of that same sensation, I guess you want to say, a hint of that, but also as well as you're actually helping your body, opposed to just getting a high sensation and you're messing your body up still. It's like, okay, what are we doing here? I see it kind of, it might sound funny, but I see it as like you're eating McDonald's, but exercising. It's like, so like I said, I really want to be a part of the scientific side, and I want to learn more about it, opposed to just the surface of what we know and what we, think we know.
Sure, yeah, and there's still so much that we have to learn. But I know a lot of the, I don't know if a lot, but several of the folks that you perform with, Wiz Khalifa and of course Snoop Dogg, they've gotten heavy into that industry, into the cannabis industry.
Yes.
Yes, and of course, obviously they've got the big name to go along with it. So certainly that's
right.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. I'm just thinking it could be the Boots Greene strain or something like that, huh? Yeah.
I've always thought that. I'm telling you, Sheldon. I've always felt something about the name. It's just like, of course, there's a lot of names with Greene on it. It just makes sense to come up with a brand with Greene with you're dealing with cannabis or whatever. But I'm like, I know I can make this happen. So if anyone's out there that wants to take on this project,
you're available. Yeah, absolutely. We got to put the word out there. Yeah, Boots is available if you're looking for a spokesperson. Anybody in the CBD business or cannabis industry, if you're looking for a celebrity spokesperson, Boots is available.
I'm here. I am ready.
Indeed.
I'm ready. I do interviews anywhere. I do all of everything from the car. I can do it from the stage, wherever you need.
Yes. Well, as you're doing it today, yeah, you're doing it from your car today.
Get it done.
Absolutely. All right. Back to music for a little bit. Do you see any trends taking shape? Anything new coming into the music business, or just in music in general? What might come to mind?
As far as what? Can you elaborate a little more?
Yeah, the way is it because we're looking at is it a younger audience? Is there are we still into rap? Are we still is there other genres of music that we can expect to see out there in the near future?
Well, definitely the younger generation is taking over. That's one. Mm-hmm. They're taking over. There's definitely a lot that's to come, because technology and like evolution in general. There's always something new coming out, right? There's always something new happening. And I think with the music industry in general, I think it's going to get, of course, bigger, but I think if I can slide this in there, I think that this should be a great time for CBD companies to really start getting involved with a lot of artists and spokesmen and ambassadors and just people that that have that face and that has that inspiration to really bring people to the table. I really believe that CBD would really not take over, but I think it would really, really seriously smash the music game, because a lot of these people too, their family members have muscle pain, or they might not like the smell of CBD, and they might just want to still partake in. I'm sorry. They might not like the smell of THC, mm-hmm. but they might want to partake in CBD or something that'll make them relaxed, or whatever. But I think that if CBD companies really tap into the music industry like deeper, I think that'll help. One, yes, it'll boost, of course, whatever you needed to boost, because you really don't hear about CBD companies in hip hop, and we're just being honest. You don't hear it in pop, Of course. So it's like, of course, these songs and these genres aren't like the mellow, chill when you partake in CBD. But I think these people, it'll really open their minds to understanding. All right, wait, let me not just go this route, just to feel something. Let me also get this from this, Mm-hmm. That's just an idea as me being a part of that side, just being honest. Yeah. 'Cause I see it every.
Yeah, and I appreciate very much. I appreciate your honesty, and you stated yourself. You really talked about CBD from the science side, and really being taking a legitimate view at what you'd like to do and how you'd like to get involved. So, and you're out there and you're ready to take on the world and be that spokesperson. Eric, it's great to have you on the show today. This half hour has gone by too quickly. I appreciate you taking time. Eric Boots Greene, so next time you hear Wiz or Jay-Z or Beyonce, you might be also listening to Boots Greene.
Here it is.
Yeah, fantastic. Hey, we'll catch you down the road. Thanks for being here today. And thanks, everybody out there, for being here, watching the 420 area code. And we'll see you next time.